All right, hello and welcome to your first lab, Lab 0. Definitely go and get started on this as soon as possible. So you click on Lab 0, that'll give you this page, but there's also a video there now. And then go and open up the lab write-up. That's the thing you got to read to know what to do. So let's talk about it. We'll go through a little bit of it. So yeah, you're going to be doing 3 separate things in this lab. 3 separate programs. Hello World, draw a cat, and then calculate the average of something. So yeah, let's go on to the class server. Go and log in on PuTTY, on your terminal, however you know how. So now I'm there, got the cow and everything, and then go to where you would like to make your lab. So last time I showed you how to make a labs folder. Maybe we'll put our labs in there and we'll do our work there. All right, so now it's empty, but we can get the starter code that I've given to you by using a funny command that I made for you called gimme. So you say gimme, and then it looks like an email address. You say gimme lab00 at CSCI40, please. And so you hit enter, and it copies all the stuff that I made for you into a new folder in your current directory called lab00. So if we go into there, we see the 3 programs that you're going to be writing and turning in today. Okay, so now you're ready. So the first thing you got to do is write a Hello World program. Very not too hard, right? So you just edit the file. It's got to be the same file name, so just overwrite the one that I have right now. You can use Nano, you can use Vim. Let's show it to you in Nano. I'll do a little bit of it. But what you got to do is you don't say hello. You say, hello world, I am ready for CSCI40, exclamation point, and then a new line. It's got to look exactly like this, okay? Because I have an auto grader grading it. So let me do it wrong so that I show you what it looks like when you get it wrong. See out. So this is not enough. It's got to say I'm ready for CSCI40. So save that. You can compile and run it. I remind you how to do all that. Make sure it works. Obviously it doesn't right now, but it's close enough. I'll show you what happens. So that's your first program, okay? Your second program is, I want you to do this. I want you to write a program that prints a cat out, okay? So edit the cat.cpp file to print exactly this, okay? There are no spaces after any of these. Like, don't add an extra space so that every line has the same width. This is the end of this line, right? This is the end of this line. This is the end of this line, okay? So that's going to be tricky because you have to type the backslash character, which, remember, you have to escape. You have to type 2 backslashes to get a single backslash because it's waiting at that point for, like, are you typing backslash n maybe? Did you want a new line? No, we just want the backslash. So you got to type it twice. And that is my hint for you to draw this cat. And this is what it should look like when you compile and run. Okay? Just like that. And then a new terminal line at the bottom of that. So that's your cat program. And then the final program that I want you to write is an average program, so avg.cpp. And what I want you to do in this program is it should look exactly like this when you run it, okay? You're going to get 3 numbers from the user, so these are not hard-coded. It doesn't print 7, 10, and 5. You're typing 7, 10, and 5. You could type other things like 5, 25, 55. It doesn't matter. But you're getting 3 things from the user like this, using cin, and then you're calculating their average using integer division. You don't have to do any weird double division thing. So just use integer division, chop off those decimal places, and type the average is that, and then a period and a new line. Okay? So remember that this is not hard-coded. You're getting input from the user, so you need to output the prompts, and then the user types the 7. The user types the 10. It could be other numbers too. Okay, so test it with as many things as you can, but this is one run of the program, and that's how it should look when you type those exact numbers. Okay? So I'm going to be testing you on that. And yeah, after that, after you're done with all your assignments or the due date approaches, you can turn them in. Okay? So to submit your code, I have an automatic grading program, which is super nice. And it you start it by using the turn-in terminal command. Okay, so you say turn-in, you say what lab you're turning in, at what class, and then you space separate all the programs that you're turning in, all your .cpp files. Okay, so here is me turning in everything. I can say turn in lab 00 at CSCI 40, and then I space separate all the things that I want to turn in right now. I say hello.cpp, I can say cat.cpp, I can say average.cpp. You don't have to turn them all in at once if you know you've only worked on hello.cpp, but when you want your final credit, you got to turn them all in at once, okay? It's not like you can turn in one and it remembers that score. No, it's just the latest one where you give all of the files. The last time you turn something in is your final score, okay? So that is how you turn it in. You press enter and then the turn in program begins. It's like, all right, I'm gonna start the auto grader. It should start pretty quickly, and you can either wait for it to finish, or you can press Control-C to stop the submission window from staying open and get back to your terminal, but it'll still grade in the background. If you wait, it doesn't really take that long. It'll be like, all right, yeah, connected to the auto grader, it started, it's done. You can now either look at your grades using the view grades terminal command, or you can go to the class website. And I encourage you to go to the class website because it's prettier there. And then it's like, all right, auto grading complete. Please press Control-C to close the submission program. So Control-C gets us back to our terminal, and we can either use view-grades to look at our grades, and there should only be one for you. It'll be, these are numbers. So which one do you want to look at? I want to look at number 0, please. Type 0, hit enter, and then it'll show you your score and all that. So I got 0 out of 9, of course, because I didn't do anything right. But you can scroll down using the arrow keys and press Q to get out of this and back to your terminal. So that's how you look at your grade on the terminal. You could also use the class website, and it's much prettier there. Okay, so you can go to your lab grades after you log in, and you click the one. There'll only be one for you, right? And you're like, I want to look at this grade. And the nice thing about the website is I've made it all color-coded so that you can see like the difference. On the left is your program's output. On the right is what it should have been. And so you can see, oh yes, I missed all of this. I better change that. Okay, so that's why you got 0 for that one. And the rest of these, they were empty programs, so they didn't even compile, and that's what this garbage is saying right here. Okay, so just yell at me if you can't understand what the autograder is saying, but that is how it works in a nutshell. And you can keep turning this in until the due date. Just get the best score you can in the time that you have, and that will be your final score. So just keep on turning it in up until the due date. You just follow this exact same process, and whatever you turn in last is your final score. Okay, so definitely don't submit and assume like you got it right. Like I knew what I was doing. I got it totally right, because you might have missed like a space or something, and the auto grader is like, no, sorry, 0. So please check your grade. Don't be surprised, okay? Always check your grade. So that was my warning for you there, and yeah, I think that is all that I wanted to say for your lab. So please come to office hours, yell at me on Discord. Let us get you 100% on this together, okay? So yeah, that is your first lab, Lab 0. Good luck, and I will see you next week.